section 1.2, part 3. Another way to evaluate function notation is to do it in an equation. And normally you would just take and go, okay, f of 5 would just be 5 minus 4 times 5, right? Which is 5 minus 20, which is negative 15. That would be what f of 5 would be. But you can do that by hand, but I want to show you how to do it on the calculator and use a table and some other things, okay? So first things first, we're going to open up and get an equation editor. If you have anything in there, of course, hit clear. So 5 minus 4x, I think that's the equation, okay? Now, once I've verified that that is the equation, we're going to hop out, that's second mode, and then we're going to go second table set. Alright, I really don't care how it starts or where it starts at table start. Don't really care about that. I'm going to go ahead and just change that table move by 1 just to kind of put it back at 1. But here's where we're going to go. If I were to go second graph, then it would give me, it'll start at 0, and of course I can move up, right, and I can move down, but I have to go find these values, right, and I'm going by 1, so I'm like, this is 15.1, how am I going to do that if I go by 1? I've got to change my step and everything, and the answer to that would be yes and no. I could do it, but I don't want to. I'll show you how to do it a little bit easier and quicker. And how to do that is second window. And what you're wanting to do is, when it's spaced out like that and has some oddities as far as x values that are not in a progressional increment, you want to have it do ask. Okay. Now, if you want to see it auto-generate, then you have to go back over here, arrow over, and hit enter to make it go back to auto. But only do it for the independent, not the dependent. Okay, the independent is the x value. All right, so I'm going to tell it to ask. Then I'm going to go second graph. And if you see this, it comes up mine is blank. So if you have anything there that's already populated, you can hit the delete button here, and it'll clear it out. So let's kind of look at this. 5, negative 3, 15.1. Let's go ahead and do that. If I hit 5, enter. Negative 3, okay. Here's your negative down here. Negative 3, enter. 15.1, enter. And let's grab the last one, 1/3. Now, how do you put a fraction? Well, just do parentheses, 1 divided by 3, close parentheses, and hit enter. Now you have all of the x values that it wanted and the outputs that are the answers for that. So you could put those all in right there. Now let's do another one just for you to see this. Let's check something while I'm doing this. Let's go back to here. Where am I at? Am I there? Okay, I'm here. All right. Does it say how many? So they don't want you to put it in as a decimal unless it's a terminating decimal. So if it's a terminating decimal, great, put it in. But if they don't, if it doesn't terminate, they want you to put it in as a fraction. So you can do that. All right. So, okay, that's the problem we're working on. I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to hop out real quick, second mode, and hit clear. Now we've got that same equation sitting right there in Y1, right? So in second mode, you hop out. I'm going to show you how to, for the one with a fraction, you know that came out to be, let's see, 3 and 0.667 happens to be 3 2/3, right? Put it as an don't put it as an improper, or let me back up. Put it in as an improper fraction, not as a mixed number, okay? But I'm going to show you another little calculator trick real quick. You can do it in a table, or once you get the particular equation in Y1, you can hit this little sequence. Bars, arrow to the right, enter, enter. And what that does is it brings up the Y1. And if I do a parentheses and go 1 divided by 3, close parentheses, it will give me, it'll take 1/3 and go and put it in Y1 and evaluate it and come out and give me an answer. Now, why is that important? Well, they don't want you to put it in as a decimal, right? They want you to put it as a fraction. So once I have that, I can hit this button, math, and then hit enter. So it's going to take this fraction or decimal and put it back as a fraction. So that's a way to do that. Okay, it's pretty cool. I highly advise you to do that. Now, let's look at this other problem. So I'm going to go to my Y's and clear here. I'll clear my key press, right? Going to my equation editor. I'll do 2x plus 1 and 4x plus 5. So I'm going to do parentheses 2x plus 1 divided by another parentheses 4x plus 5. I just want to make sure that that's right. Yep, 2x plus 1 and 4x plus 5. Now, note that I encapsulated the numerator by putting everything in a parentheses and then the denominator as well. So that's how you type that in correctly. Now, I can go second table and see I've got stuff in there. If I hit delete, 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 then I can it'll clear it. We want to do 4, -2, and 2.5, and I now do 3/4 on the other way. 4, enter, -2, and what's the other one? 2.5, and then 2.5. Okay, I can do the fraction, which is 3/4. You know, I can go here, 3 divided by 4, and then close parentheses. That's 0.1325. You might not recognize that as being a fraction, a 16th or so forth, but I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to hit clear, and then I'm going to hit second mode. I'm going to hit clear here. So I want to bring up Y1 again from my regular screen. My equation sitting in there, right? Here's my equation. Now I'm going to hit bars, arrow to the right, enter, enter. And what that does is it brings up the Y1. I want to make sure, okay, it's 3/4. Just want to make sure about that. So parentheses 3 divided by 4, close parentheses, hit enter. Alright, so it gave me a decimal. They want it put in as a fraction. So hit math, and the first selection is taking it back into a fraction. So hit enter, and then hit enter again, and that's 5/16. So that's what I would put in for that. Okay, so we've done the equations. The only thing that's left to do in this section is the graphs. Okay, so we're going to attack the graphs in part 4, but this is section 1.2, part 3.